The man where open Nigeria eye, they prison. Nigeria is a prison. Nigeria is bleeding. Through now the Kanu, people don't know.
P2B go fit win election.
Igbo man no fit rule Nigeria until revolution come. This one way Obi and the followers they do, not be bad thing, but for me, make them not go waste their time because Nigeria are just covenant rulings. If I want rule, we know who want rule next year. We know who want rule next year. They no say that Tinubu go still rule this year.
Did you just hear what he said?
It's not all of them are criminal. Not all of them are criminal. Because
when they wanted to change the national anthem, did it take this long? I mean, look at it yourself now.
You see, a lot of people believes in Igbo man. They believe that Nigeria can be saved by an Igbo man, somebody like P2B. Yes, but you know, you hear people discussion, you get some facts about what is happening in Nigeria. This guy said that Igbo man no fit be president in Nigeria except revolution come, except war comes. And that war will bring equality. Meaning that Nigerians believe that Igbos have that capacity to salvage this country from the situation it is now. But the people that is holding this country hostage will not allow an Igbo man to become the president. That is what this guy is saying. And if you look at it, it is very, very true. Very, very true. You see. Well, let's hear him direct. When we come back, then I will continue from where we stopped.
P2B go fit win election.
Igbo man no fit rule Nigeria until revolution come. This one way Obi and the followers they do, not be bad thing, but for me, make them not go waste their time because Nigeria are just covenant rulings. If I want rule, we know who want rule next year. We know who want rule next year. They no say that Tinubu go still rule this year. Even people where they clap, they follow, and the Northerners where they follow. See, if Igbo man want rule Nigeria, war go fair come, equal balance go fair come. Because see, until Nigeria begin, they see Igbo man as one of Nigerians before Nigeria go figure in Igbo man rule. Who be Nigerians? The Northerners and the Yorubas. Those are the people.
You say they can't Igbo man as
no. Even nowadays, go look, Yoruba people create a page where they say that they mock Igbo people. These are the Nigeria we're living in. And who tell me, who don't fight for the benefit of Nigeria past, apart, if not be the same Igbo people? Until they release the Kanu, Nigeria not go ever get peace. Because do you know why? People who fight to make sure peace reign in the land, if they are being caged, that's the peace.
they cage the peace.
They cage the peace. The man where open Nigeria eye, they prison. Nigeria is a prison. Nigeria is bleeding. Through now the Kanu, people don't know. See, that's why I love Oshowereti. I go die. You understand me? You know why I love that man? He's a man who get intelligence. He get high, they see. You understand me? Me, I they tell you the truth. Before Nigeria better, this man, called Nazi Kanu, the Messiah, they're supposed to release that man.
It not go worsen the situation.
It not go worsen the situation because now let that man know the solve and the problem of Nigerians. If they go green. I prefer Nnamdi Kanu to rule than anything or Peter Obi or Oshowere. Because you know why? Nigeria need person will get action. We need action. Because Nigeria people, we are too stubborn. We know they hear.
Okay, if person too quiet, you don't feel rule Nigeria.
No, quiet person don't feel rule Nigeria. Weak person don't feel rule Nigeria. I pray may Nnamdi Kanu may anything not do and may for feel rule in Nigeria without see, Nigeria need violent president. During the time of Babangida, you see things. Nigeria need president where be say not they tolerate nonsense. He don't care whether you be Hausa or you be Igbo. That is Nnamdi Kanu. He don't tolerate nonsense. When things come, so he go handle on the way he be. Those are the days of Nigeria was a giant. Now there the time of all those we really get hunger. We really get high.
Shona they say that is what that guy said, and his talk is very straight. I love such, outspoken guys, and when they speak truth to power, that is what we need. We need more of that in this country. I saw this video of where you are Minister for Defense State is defending terrorists. I never see this video before, saying that not all of them are criminals. Defending these guys on what situation, on what grounds? That's why people or US say that the government are in support. That's why it's difficult to tackle these things internally. Some government members are in support of this. Well, we are going to hear this from the horse's mouth direct. You know, you see the kind of people that we have in power. Well, you can watch. Let's see.
Did you just hear what he said?
It's not all of them are criminal. Not all of them are criminal, because if you know, or maybe if you investigate what is happening or what makes them to take those laws into their hand, some of them sometimes were cheated by so-called Insecurity, and I have to ban completely the Insecurity in my state. The Insecurity is those called vigilante group, who normally went to their settlement, destroy their property and take their animals. You know, so, and, you know, they doesn't have anyone to speak with. So sometimes they
Did you just hear what he said? To Mr. President, how can you hand over the security of Nigeria to this type of people with this kind of thinking? My people, this banditry is not all about collecting ransom and just killing people like that. No. It is all about taking over land. It is all about taking over our land.
Totally agree with you, my brother.
We should not fold our hands and just keep looking at these people perpetrating this evil.
Brother, Fulani get the country.
It is going to come and meet you wherever you are. Now, people, we have to do something about this. It's like President is not aware about this video. I don't think if President watched this video or heard what this man said about the kidnappers.
So when you have such people in power, what do you expect? When you have such people in power and you expected the government to fight, how are they going to fight? Are they going to fight the people that they are sympathetic with? That is the situation we are facing in Nigeria today. Well, let's hear this. Let's hear this. When we come back, we may conclude. Don't miss any part of this. Let's go.
When they wanted to change the national anthem, did it take this long? I mean, look at it yourself now.
Barrister Darlington Agumor, good evening. Thank you for joining me on the World News today.
My pleasure.
Welcome, sir. Barrister, very quickly, apparently the bill for state police has been approved. Out of all the lawmakers, only one person did not support that motion. And his reason, some persons may say, is quite valid because they weren't given enough time, to go through it. And what they were supposed to deliberate in the chamber today was not necessarily about the state policing bill, but other matters of concern. So he says he was surprised that they weren't given enough time to study this, and then before they either assent or refuse to assent or reel out some of the inadequacies in the bill. And some Nigerians say, regardless, this is a good opportunity and this is what everyone is asking for. So would you say Bola Ahmed Tinubu is indeed already doing what he's doing, decentralizing major institutions and giving them the autonomy to do what is needful, and that is the governors having the sole responsibility to order security agencies when it comes to security?
Esther, my question is, why was this bill delayed up till now? All the people that have died before now, what happens to them? Will this bill resurrect them? Since Buhari era that APC has been promising this state police, Esther, nothing has happened. It is now that the election is very close. Look, I don't like people playing politics with national institutions, national exigencies. I don't like it when people play politics with everything. So why didn't this bill come up all these years, Esther? You can see how they railroaded the House of Rep members into this bill.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They were not given enough time to study it. Meanwhile, you were there for 3 years now.
But this wasn't the prospect. I mean, this is something they've always talked about.
Esther, please, they just gave them the bill. They need to study it and see the nitty-gritty, because there are loopholes there. that they needed to, in the first place, why did you give it to the police? The police will now tell the National Assembly what to do. Is that how things are done? You see what happened when the federal government want to do something, Esther. Fine, I agree. There are things that you apply the Machiavellian principle of the end justify the means. Esther, yes, when you want to get something done, there are so many ways to get it done. But why did they delay until election time so that they will use it for campaign, Esther? Esther, they will use it for campaign.
So you think this is for campaign?
Why must everything be?
You don't think it's a genuine thing with the spate of insecurity on the rise?
This thing has been there for over 3 years now.
They said that there's a process to it.
Okay, what process now? This is not the same process we are talking about. Send the bill to National Assembly. Send the bill to National Assembly. When they wanted to change the national anthem, did it take this long? I mean, look at it yourself now. Everything has been zeroed down to politics. Why didn't you give the lawmakers enough chance to do it? I mean, do the needful, so that there will not be any hiccup at the end of the day. Okay, fine. Granted that state police is on the way. Please, will they allow it to stand there? Will there be one authority or the other in Abuja who will say, tell the state commissioner of police, don't do this, don't do this, do this? Won't it come up? Won't it come up, Esther? And so when you do things for your own selfish interest, there's always a boomerang.
So you think this whole thing is for selfish ulterior motive?
What is it?
There's no form of genuinity in it. Nigerians have been asking the National Assembly, the House of Reps, to pass this bill. A couple of analysts, including yourself, has always advocated for state police. It's only a few persons who are worried about the proper utilization of state police. There are talks that these governors can now decide to use this to harass opponents, especially political opponents, in the system, or even try to plant something and blame it on someone or an opposition just for certain reasons. And so they're saying, okay, with the way the system is done here and how egotistic and power toxic these politicians are, it's important to leave it at the federal level. But when you're seeing the rise in insecurity and governors proving like they are inadequate or unable to handle it because it rests on the shoulder from the federal government, they have to expedite the process. So wouldn't you consider this something that is coming at a time that is really needed?
Esther, please, the provisions on that bill that the lawmakers ought to look at and pick out some of the loopholes and close it. Did they do that? The answer is no. So what if you pass this bill today and you discover that there is only one commander-in-chief in Nigeria who will now decide what the state police commissioner will do and what he will not do? Esther, what happens? Have you truly given them autonomy? I mean, you didn't see it from that angle, Abi. We have only one commander-in-chief and he's in charge of the police, army, navy, air force. And so if that bill is going to give him another power to decide what will happen in the state when it comes to police matter, Esther, what have you done? You have not done anything. It's like selling the dog in your house and then you go and buy monkey in the market. You are still in the business of stupid. So what I'm saying that why didn't they allow the lawmakers to study that thing that the police presented to them? Because it came from the police. You came from the police, and this police is a Tinubu's appointee, and you know how things work. So why did they allow them to study it? What is the hurry now? Because politics are around the corner, so everything must be zeroed down to politics, so that they will say that the people that have died so far, will he resurrect them? That is what I'm saying here. I can bet my last kobo with the way this thing was done. I can smell a rat.
So, Barrister, in as much as it's coming late, you would not compliment this eventual effort, at least, regardless of the political undertone or the ulterior motive behind this. A couple of persons will say, okay, maybe something is finally being done and these guys are waking up to their responsibilities.
Esther, I have always known this government to create a problem while they are trying to solve a problem. That is their modus operandi. They always create a problem in the disguise of trying to solve a problem. Can you now tell me that they have solved the problem? No, tell me now. All this while, they should have gone. I mean, this bill should have been there for over even 6 months or so that the lawmakers, everybody will contribute. Granted that the majority approve of it, but the man that said no, the man that opted that, he has a point. But nobody, majority carries the vote. Yes, the majority, but most of the time, the majority don't have all the know-how. They don't. Experience have shown us that most time majority are always wrong. Majority are always wrong, Esther.
Barrister.
Is it not a majority that killed Jesus Christ? Majority.
Barrister, we'll take a very short break. When we return, we'll talk about the 210 trillion naira. We had heard earlier that the Senate was supposed to arrest Melekiari over not responding or giving details as to the 210 trillion naira. All of a sudden, the Senate is distancing themselves, saying that it was not a collective agreement or motion being pushed. It was Adams Oshomole, and they berated him for actually making that statement because it's not a collective agreement with the House. So the big question is, what is the fear? All right, we'll take a very short break. We'll be right back. To kindly stay with us.
Lagos, are you ready for an overflow like never before?
It's the Interdenominational Hour of Revival Lagos and the Ministers, Leaders and Business Conference.
Hosted by Bishop David Abioye. Get set for a divine encounter with the theme Exceeding Grace.
Grace that breaks limits, grace that lifts you higher, grace that changes your story.
Date Thursday 25th to Friday 26th June 2026.
Time 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. daily.
Venue The Grand Joy Event Center, 17 Billings Way, Oregun, Ikeja, Lagos.
This is your moment for supernatural advancement, your moment for kingdom empowerment.
Ministers, leaders, business minds, step into your next level by grace.
Don't just hear about it, be there and experience it live. Hour of Revival Lagos, Exceeding Grace. Don't miss it.
Hi, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Barrister, we're talking about the NNPC missing 210 trillion naira, which at this moment would have helped our circumstance if the Nigerian government keeps borrowing to help finance its 2026 budget, as well as all the financial, responsibilities needed for some capital infrastructure development, which is the priority of Tinubu's administration. And so we're surprised. Melekeri himself was saying he was shocked when he heard that he was asked to be arrested. And then obviously today the entire Senate distanced themselves from comments by Senator Adams, because Adams Oshomole has described the NNPC and called them thieves, says they're corrupt and they're thieves, criminals, they're a bunch of criminals and thieves. And he insisted that the remarks, that is the Senate is insisting that the remarks do not reflect the position of the Red Chamber. Parisa, you're one of the persons that has always emphasized, reiterated where this missing 210 trillion naira is. And you've always talked about the nonchalancy or vacuous, redundant disposition of the Senate to not investigate or trace that money. Last year, we heard the EFCC was doing some mass arrest of certain former managing directors and, operational managers of the NNPCL. And we heard that they recovered cash of monies, like a lot of monies from them. And others are still trying to send it while they begin prosecution of their cases at the court. Since then, in fact, we even had the current NNPC boss was also being investigated. In fact, they made it seem like he was one of the culprits, in the saga for embezzlement. Barrister, ever since that incident, we haven't heard anything since then, and so all of a sudden, this is an opportunity for the Senate to talk about it because they need money, and then they're distancing themselves. What exactly is the fear?
Esther, I hate to tell you this, but that's the truth. Things that have been kept pending will now be woken up to give a semblance of action. But in reality, no action will be taken. It's all about politics. So that people say, yes, it is part of the achievement of Tinubu administration. Esther, is it not the EFCC that's supposed to investigate this matter? Why is it that nobody told them to move into an NPCL and check where this, in fact, point out, trace this money where it went to, because they have the capacity. Esther, they have the capacity to trace where the 210 trillion went into? Who took it? It is the responsibility of EFCC. Why is it that nobody have called them in on this matter? Just tell me. You can see now. I told you that whenever a matter go to the National Assembly, forget it. Esther, forget it. Did I not tell you? Is that not what I've been saying? Say, what is the reason why EFCC have not been told to go and do this job and bring out a comprehensive report on exactly who took this money, and where the money went to? Why? It is because of what is happening in Esther. So with this challenge against Oshemole, Esther, do you think anything will happen? No, do you think anything will happen about that money? Do you know that if eventually they brought that Menekiari, and he begin to sing like a Neri, Esther, you think that matter will see the light of day? Remember, off your mic, Ababu.
Yeah.
When he was trying to mention, what happened? Esther, what happened? Whenever this type of matter goes into National Assembly, Esther, forget it. Interests are involved. And that means government doesn't want to see the end of that matter. Forget it. What are you telling me? So now that they are challenging Oshomole, did Agbabio tell you that yes, they will invite the man based on the allegation against him? Did he tell you that? That means the matter is dead on arrival. Forget it, Esther. That man will never be brought to book, because we have seen it happen time and time again. As a matter of fact, the Minister of Petroleum should have been the one, because that's his ministry. He should be the one, but who is talking to him? Esther, who is talking to him is above the law. Who is talking to him? You are calling a man that have left office to come on account, and he's really bragging about it. He said he was shocked. You were shocked that under your watch such an amount of money was missing, and they are calling you to account. You said you were shocked. That means he was shocked is because the people that are inviting him knows something about that money. That's why the man is claiming that he's shocked. Esther, that is the only reason why he can make that statement. If not, why should you be shocked that under your watch such an amount of money was missing? Why should you be shocked? That the Senate are inviting him. Why? What is the shock there? This is a man who should have been apologizing to us and telling us what you know about the money. Now they are inviting him and say he's shocked. So my dear, forget it. If they wanted to do something else, they would have done it long ago, about 2 years ago, since this thing came up. But nobody said anything. But now politics is on the air. Yes, he's fighting corruption. Yes, can't you see? He called Melekiari. Is he calling or doing? You can call somebody, but you didn't do anything to him when he showed up. Esther, has it not happened? From Sidaki Dixon, I mean that Nigerian Airways man. Up to today, Esther. Look, I don't want people to be I don't want them to mess my brain, because when you see this type of thing, they are talking to gullible Nigerians, not some of us. You know you don't want to do anything. You know you not do anything. So why are you pretending? Why are you pretending that you want to do something? Meanwhile, you don't want to, and you will never, because of the interest involved. 210 trillion. What if the man come out and tell you that he gave social money to Mr. D and Mr. A and Mr. B, that they collected it for their politics or whatever? This other person collected money. Just like Agbabio was telling us in NDDCC, how they were coming to collect money from him for their political ambition. Is that not true? Is that not true? So what are you telling me here? Esther, what are you? I don't know. You want me to believe here that man, that Menekiari, only him took that money? Esther, is it possible? Is it possible? Please tell me. Please, people should stop this deceit and face their job.
Parasite, you recall that it's even beyond military. I don't know if you recall the situation with Wunti. I think Sahara reporters did that expose, and I was thinking that they would have followed up with that investigation where phone calls were made, where they mentioned the president's name, that the president is aware of this case, where Wunti was speaking to two other individuals, in fact, was speaking with the APC chairman Nentawa, and they were speaking in Hausa, where Wunti and Nentawa was assuring Wunti that don't worry, we've spoken to the president about this. We will sneakishly and quietly put you in the APC. Once that happens, the Senate will not investigate this matter, and that it's on the table of the president. And the president has assured him, this is Nentera telling them that the president has assured him he will look into the matter. So if the Senate right now is coming out to distance themselves, are we saying now that possibly Wunti has been secretly infused into the APC without that grandeur and opulence because they wanted to do it quietly, and that possibly the Senate has now agreed to put it under the carpet and not put a beam light on it? It only happens to be one person who is talking. Maybe he wasn't carried along like the others at whatever arrangement for him to have said what he said.
Remember, it was the Senate Committee on Public Account, a body that ought to carry out that investigation, and they are doing their job, yet they have stopped them. Are they not supposed to call somebody involved in what they are trying to account? And now somebody have stopped them, that they don't have any power. Esther, the mere fact that the president name was mentioned in that Wundini allegation, is it not serious enough for you to? That's why I know that this is not going anywhere. There are names that will come up in any matter in this country, and you know that that matter will not go anywhere. So why are these people disturbing us and pretending to us that they want to do something? Meanwhile, they don't want to do it, Esther. Is that not the real issue here? 210 trillion, Esther. Imagine what that money can do to Nigeria. And that is what a few people have taken and put in their pocket. And they're telling me we don't have money. We don't have money. They should tax.
So why has the lawmakers not summoned Dr. Bala Wunti, who was the former head of NAPIMS, and the other former top executives to appear before the Senate committee alongside the current NNPCL management and external auditors, if the Senate is truly ready to audit how that money was utilized?
Esther, was it not in this country that one Benga Komolafe, the man in charge of the upstream sector, his own investigation was done? There was a forensic audit of his department. Esther, at the end of the day, 5 trillion naira and 1.4 billion was discovered against him. Esther, what happened? The president just asked him to go with the money. Is that not true? Esther, please tell me if I'm lying. You're
not lying.
So what happened? 5 trillion naira. They did not even ask him to, okay, if you don't want to go to jail, give us that money, bring it back. 1.4 billion. The man was asked to go with it. Esther, go with it. Again, out of what? Sentiment. Let an Igbo man take $1 million. In fact, they will take him to World Court. World Court to produce that money. Please, let's talk another thing, guys.
So since 2025 that the Senate gave them a 10-day fresh deal together. This was since 2025. Since June, nothing has happened. So that money is unaccounted for, and everyone will keep quiet about it. Because if Melekeri is called in, he would mention names.
Of course.
The first time he was asked to come and actually speak, he said he would mention names.
Of course,
and everyone will go down together.
Exactly, Esther. Please, Esther, please, leave this matter. When they are ready, we will see that they are ready. What worries me is that when they are deceiving Nigeria, they won't even see it, Esther. The gullibility in Nigeria is so much. Whatever they tell them, they agree. And when some of us disagree, they call us names.
No, it's not that. I think some people just don't, after a while, don't ask questions anymore. Or they feel it is a them thing, so Esther, they shouldn't bother about it.
On this matter now, you will see how people will lash on it. Yes, people is trying to investigate. Yes, that money that one naughty boy has been making noise, they want to investigate. As if the money will come out.
All right, very quickly, Barrister, the NDC leader, that's leader of the NDC, Senator Dixon, has said that they allow Peter Obi Kwankwaso in the party without interference. In the same vein, in the ADC, Atiku Abubakar has been shopping for a vice presidential candidate that Rotimi Amici has actually declined. Several occasions they've met, and that there's a possibility of Rotimi leaving the ADC to join Peter Obi in the NDC. Do you think that's possible?
Esther, nothing is impossible. Remember,
if he joins Peter Obi in the NDC, what role? Because he complained about the result of the direct primaries in the ADC. You are aspiring as a presidential candidate. So if you're joining Peter Obi in the NDC to do what? To occupy what role?
He may not be vying for anything based on what has happened.
Why would you join a party without the intention of vying for anything? And obviously you would invest money to support the party delegates or aspirants in the party. Why would you join if you don't have anything to possibly get from it?
No, maybe you are bidding your time. You know, everything has time.
Bidding his time
like
for what?
Like they do it in Lagos here. Koti kon Rotimi is not yet your turn. You have not been anointed, so you wait for your turn. Is that not what they do in Lagos? So you wait for your turn. It is when you become too ambitious that the landlord of Lagos say, but Koti kon now. So.
Okay. I really don't understand. What is Koti coin?
That you never reach your turn.
Okay, fine. You never reach your turn. But like I said, if that is the case, if you say you're not going to be a VP, you've declined on several occasions, why don't you just remain in the ADC and be part of the party and look forward towards 2031?
If the place is becoming too toxic for him, Esther, will he stay there? No, look at it yourself. That is what we are saying here. You don't stay where you cannot feel comfortable, feel free, where things are done in a very secretive manner and you don't know what is going on. Will you stay there? We are trying to clean up Nigeria, Esther, please. We are trying to clean. That's the only way Nigeria can move forward. All this secrecy everywhere, it can never move Nigeria forward. I pity those who are supporting every evil because they are going to benefit from it. You don't ask yourself, 2-3 years down the line, what will now happen? You too, you will now come back and start crying wolf. But you supported it. It's not as if you didn't know that this thing is going to boomerang, but you supported it. When they are done with you, you now come to us and start crying human rights violation, due process. Is that how things are done, Esther? If we begin to do like this, Esther, what are we going to pass to our next generation, to posterity? Is that how Nigeria will grow? Is that how we develop? Why not start from the beginning to condemn what is condemnable? Not when it is when you have gotten to the 11th hour, you now say no, I no agree again, no. But we are part of the people that produced and grew this thing now. Why are you now saying no now? You didn't know that it will backfire, Abi? Have I not told you that evil can never last forever, Esther? Evil will never last forever, no matter how you try.
So, in summary, what is your bone of contention about this? My
bone of contention: those who supported this thing from the beginning, why are they making a recant? Esther, why? Even Kenneth Okonkwo, that is always on P2B's case, can't he remove the log of food in his own eyes? In his own political party, it was so bad that Atiku had to go and be begging Rotimi and all this other man that withdraw Hayatudin.
And what if that is Kenneth Okonkwo's major assignment now? To mudsling, defame, and make sure that P2B is not considered a marketable brand.
Good.
Because amongst all the presidential candidates, they have allegation of financial misappropriation, embezzlement, and corruption.
Good.
P2B is the only candidate that does not have any attachment of criminal activity or financial investment or misappropriation tagged to his name. So it's like there's a deliberate effort to ensure that he is slammed and seen as one of such persons to say there is nothing different, they're all the same. So why are you carrying on a saintly aura or a saintly attitude? What if that is basically the role Kenneth Okonkwo is actually playing? Go to different media forums, decimate Peter Obi in any form, make sure that he is physically, or whatever, what I mean physically, that is with media butchered to the point where if anybody thinks about him, it's not something they'll consider an option. What is the role that's the role he's playing, or the role he's being paid for?
That is an evil role, and it has already backfired.
But you know that these politicians do not have any sense of conscience, and
Esther,
Kenneth seems to be one of such persons.
Esther, don't worry yourself. I thank God that P2B has gone to court. A 5 billion naira suit is on Kenneth Okonkwo's head as we speak, and I hear that somebody is trying to recant. He's trying to swallow and eat his words. He's now calling somebody that somebody told him this and that. The person is now saying, I didn't tell you anything. No.
The person came immediately the following day to say and that he did not tell Kenneth that it is Peter Obi.
It is only Kenneth Okonkwo that we know. We heard his voice. He will come to tell the whole world where and when and how P2B collected the bribe and how the money was paid into his account. This is the real issue now, because that thing you are trying to do to P2B, it has backfired, because you cannot substantiate it. You cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. I have already told my friend Barisan Zako in the morning. Yes, they should not let this matter lie low. They should take it to the highest court of the land. Kenneth Okonkwo must tell us how P2B became a bribe taker. And that is the issue here. He must substantiate it, not telling us that he has even this one they told him to write an apology letter to CNN. We are not interested in that. This matter must be brought to a logical conclusion, because this assault and insult on P2B is too much. You are not talking of the log of food in your own eyes, in your own party. What is your local standard on NDC matter? Why are you interested in what happened when you are in ADC? Talk of other parties, even APC. You saw their own estimated figure that they were giving to themselves. Kenneth Okonkwo did not see it. It's only P2B. And so you are trying to smear him. Now you have smeared yourself, because you are now trying to eat your words. The man have denied that he told you anything, and it is your voice we heard. So they should take Kenneth Okonkwo to court. I've told Fred Nzako, you should tell your principal, you people should go to court on this. Let us see this. At least it will teach somebody a lesson. You don't run your mouth anyhow. And I expected that Kenneth Okonkwo, being a lawyer, he should know his limit. Even if they tell you something you did not verify, why do you go on air with it?
No, but
why do you go on air with it?
But
don't
like
tell
I
me.
told you, it's deliberate. You can tell anything you can use to fling someone.
Good. It has backfired. Esther.
Well, we're yet to see that. We're yet to see that.
All right, viewers, I thank you for coming along with me in this particular session of YangaLife video. Please, if you have not subscribed, click on the subscription button, notification bell, like this video, and please don't forget to share this video. Let others watch as you have watched the video. Till I come your way next time, I still remain Chinedu.